Welcome to the Manager Lab, where we delve into the increasingly dynamic world of talent management. In each episode, we will unravel key insights, break down the most relevant books and articles, and provide actionable tips to optimize your approach in developing and retaining top talent. Stay tuned for a deep dive into the art, science, and strategy of unlocking your team's full potential. Let's enter the Manager Lab. Today we're talking about a major shift happening in the modern workplace, one that every manager, leader, and employee needs to understand. For decades, careers followed a fairly predictable path. You learn early, work hard, climb the ladder, and then retire around 60 or 65. But according to new research highlighted in Harvard Business Review, that entire model is changing. People are living longer, working longer, changing careers more often, and redefining what meaningful work looks like over the course of a lifetime. The old one-and-done career model simply doesn't fit anymore. And here's the big leadership challenge. If careers are getting longer, then career development has to change too. Today, we'll explore what that means, the key takeaways from the research, and most importantly, actionable ways that you as a manager can help people build sustainable, energized, long-term careers. So let's start with a core idea. The article argues that many organizations still manage careers as if employees are running a short sprint, when in reality, modern careers are becoming marathons. Think about it. Someone entering the workforce today could realistically work 50 years or more. And that changes everything because nobody can operate at maximum intensity for 5 straight decades without eventually hitting burnout, stagnation, or just plain old disengagement. The traditional career model often assumes linear growth, more responsibility, more pressure, more hours, more output. But over a 40 or 50-year career, people's needs change. Their energy changes, their priorities shift, their life stages change. And at different points, people may need time to learn, time to recover, a time to take care for family, a time to maybe reinvent themselves, or just a time to rediscover what they feel like their purpose is. The organizations that thrive in the future will be the ones that stop treating careers like ladders and start treating them more like journeys. And managers are at the center of making that happen. One of the most powerful ideas in the article is this: career growth should no longer be viewed only as upward mobility. That's worth repeating. Career growth is not just promotion. Sometimes growth means building new skills or exploring a different function or taking on a stretch project. Maybe it's mentoring other people or rotating roles every 2 to 3 years, or even stepping back temporarily to sustain long-term performance. Great managers understand that sustainable careers require seasons, and not every season is about acceleration. Some seasons are about learning. Some are about contributing. Some are just about renewal. And when leaders recognize that, they can create environments where people can stay engaged for the long haul instead of burning out after a few intense years. So what are practical takeaways for managers? Let's talk about 5 actionable research lessons from this article that you can take away today. Lesson number 1, shift from career ladders to career portfolios. Love that concept. Instead of asking, how do I help this employee climb higher, start asking, how do I help this employee build a richer, more sustainable career? Encourage people to develop multiple capabilities, cross-functional experiences, broader perspectives, skills that can be transferable. Because in today's world, adaptability is career security. Managers who support varied experiences create more resilient employees and stronger organizations. Okay, lesson number 2, normalize reinvention. One of the outdated beliefs that many companies still carry around is that changing directions equals inconsistency. But the research shows that longer careers will naturally include reinvention. People may pivot industries, learn entirely new technologies, or pursue new passions midway through their careers. And the best managers don't punish that reinvention, they actually encourage it. In fact, one of the most powerful questions that you can ask an employee is, what skills or experiences would you love to develop next? That question communicates something important. Your growth matters here. And when employees feel that, engagement rises dramatically. All right, lesson number 3, protect sustainability, not just performance. And this is huge. Too many organizations reward short-term overperformance while ignoring long-term exhaustion. But if someone is expected to contribute meaningfully for decades, sustainability matters more than ever. Managers should pay attention not only to output, but to energy. So ask yourself, is this person growing stronger or simply running harder? High performance becomes dangerous when it's disconnected from recovery. Great leaders create cultures where rest, boundaries, flexibility, and well-being are seen as performance strategies, not weaknesses. Because exhausted people may survive temporarily, but energized people thrive consistently. Number 4, invest in continuous learning. The days of learn once and coast forever are over. Well, if they ever really were, but they're certainly over now. Technology changes too quickly. Industries evolve too fast. And so the most valuable employees of the future won't necessarily be the smartest people in the room. Thankfully, they'll be the most adaptable learners. Managers should constantly create opportunities for learning. So what books are you reading? What articles are you reading? Who are you mentoring? What courses are you taking? What stretch assignments are you willing to take on? What cross-training are you wanting to do? What leadership exposure do you need? And here's the key. Learning should not be reserved only for high potentials or executives. Everyone needs development opportunities if careers are going to remain meaningful over the long term and your succession planning strategy is going to be sustainable. The organizations that win the future will be learning organizations. And finally, lesson number 5, have deeper career conversations. Most manager career conversations are too transactional. What's your next promotion? Or what are your goals this year? But longer careers require deeper questions like, what kind of work energizes you? What season of life are you in right now? What would make your work more meaningful? What strengths do you want to use more often? And what does long-term success actually look like for you? Those conversations build trust, and trust builds retention. Because many employees don't leave organizations simply for money. They leave because they feel unseen. They feel stuck or disconnected from purpose or from people, quite frankly. Managers who genuinely invest in people's long-term growth create loyalty that compensation alone cannot buy. So as we close today, here's the bigger message behind the research. The future of work is not just about productivity. It's about sustainability, adaptability, growth, and creating careers that people can actually thrive in for decades. The best leaders of the future won't simply help people perform. They'll help people endure, evolve, and help people stay inspired over the course of a very long working life. Because leadership is no longer just about getting results today. It's about building people who can continue growing tomorrow. And maybe the greatest question every manager should ask is this: am I helping people build careers they can sustain, not just jobs they can survive? That's the kind of leadership that changes organizations and ultimately changes lives. Well, thanks for listening today. If this episode encouraged you, share it with another manager or leader who's trying to build healthier, stronger, more sustainable teams. And remember, great leaders don't just develop performance, they develop people for the long journey ahead. And until next time we meet in the Manager Lab, do good work.